Tove.
And
So
so,
happy to be here. This is the global show. This is TMS Roundtable Global. Rose, my co host, is in Australia and she won't join us this week, but I decided to come live with an Israeli colleague of mine and a woman who has recovered and who is, I want to just put your name up here, who is healing in a beautiful way from endometriosis. I'm going to introduce her and then we're going to have a dialogue, a conversation. Um, Aline is Israeli but speaks wonderful Hebrew. And I'm spending the rest of my life learning Hebrew. And I think a lot of our guests on the global show are speaking many languages. We have a TMS roundtable in Denmark. I just had a patient from Thailand, and we're opening up a TMS roundtable in Bangkok, in Thailand. My goal is to open up these conversations and Facebook pages everywhere in the world so people can interact and be inspired and know and be educated about self-healing and the ability to heal. So, Aline, I am blessed, one blessed neshama, which means soul. It's not only that I met you, but to be in this country helping people heal as well as people all over the world. I am one blessed person. This is TMS Roundtable. My name is Dr. Tovah Goldfein, and we are here tonight with Aline Guy, who's going to share her story about how she recovered and continues to live a high quality life with endometriosis. Aline, Erev Tov, so nice
and
you come to
so
my studio again and speak
I'm really
English
excited.
and shine your magnificent beauty in my studio. Erev Tov.
Erev Tov, thank you so much for having me. I feel blessed to be here with you in the same screen and in the same live and talk about a subject that it's so important. And I feel really blessed for the opportunity to talk about that with you and to touch as many as people and help them in some way. Even if we help one woman, for me, I did. This is what I want to do.
Wonderful. So I'm just saying hello to to Lenore, who is also from Israel, and she actually is healing from endometriosis as well. And she helps me translate. So I know that she's there if we need any help. She's in the Facebook. So, Aline, let's start from hello. At what age did you realize that something was going on and there was unusual symptoms happening for no reason? Tell us from there.
Okay, I think around 16 or 17, I felt like my period it's not something regular. Like my friends used to have our periods and go to run, and all our life like was the same. Maybe a bit pain. For me, it was always a nightmare. When I got my period, usually I know that I have 2 to 3 days that I can move,
Wow.
and with that come with a lot of pains. And it's really like once in a month, I have three between 2 to 4 days that I know that I can't be myself. I can't work. I can't sometimes to breathe. I can't go out from bed. It's even was like so painful to talk with someone or ask for help. It's just like pain that I can't really explain that. Only whoever have this disease gonna understand me.
Yeah, I understand. So go ahead. So you would even, and I'm sure the anticipation or the even times of the month that you knew you were going to be like it would spread into your entire month.
Exactly.
So you got diagnosed endometriosis at what in your
A
late
few
teen?
years like a few years after, not a lot of people, and even it's gonna be very surprising, but even not a lot of doctors know this disease or study about it. Like I was like complaining all the time, going from doctor to just understand what I have, because I understand that it's something that's not normal. It doesn't make sense that I'm suffering so much and I can't go out from bed, that all my friends or people that I know act normal. And not a lot of doctors know this disease. They all the time tell me, okay, it's a period. Everybody take it different. Maybe you're more sensitive. Maybe you're doing a bit drama. Maybe you need to check yourself. Till I get to one doctor that really like, we did like ultrasound and we saw that I have 100%. Usually women need to do like a surgery to understand if they have it or not. This is why a lot of women don't know how to diagnose that, or they don't know that they have it, or they don't have the mudaut. I don't know how to say it in English. They don't have the knowledge to know that they
Knowledge,
have it.
the knowledge,
Normal.
information.
Exactly. They don't have the information. Not a lot of people talking about that. When I ask my doctor, we say, I don't know what it is. Till I got to somebody that really like is
Right.
special in this disease, and it just bring me a lot of, I call it plasters, because they don't have really cure for this
Yeah.
disease.
Yeah.
He said you need to live with it all your life.
Wow.
This is what you have. This is, you need to just take that and live with that all your life. You need to learn how to deal with that.
Yeah. So I'm sure that made you feel full of fear, and I'm sure angry at some point. Like, why would I have this label on me? So go ahead. So Mamshicha continues. So then what happened? Then you felt. Tell me what happened. What did your
The
parents?
minute that I knew that I have it, and I start to research about it. When you research in Google about it, you see like I had like black all over my head. I couldn't. I said, okay, what the fuck? Sorry about my language,
And
but I said,
and
how
Bayat.
am I going to deal with that? It's right down that maybe I'm gonna have a problem to get pregnant, and I need to suffer it from pain all in my life, and I need to be with hormones all my life. And I'm a person that the hormones didn't do good to them. It make me very sensitive.
So they tried to give you. So you tried some of the medication. You tried some of the maybe.
I have no choice. He told me it's like a life saving. You don't have choice. I don't care if you're sensitive. I don't care if you're crying or you're moody or how it affects your life. If we said okay, or you're taking that and you don't suffer it from pain and you stop the, it's pashtut. You stop the blood to spread your body.
Yeah.
It's not a question. You have to take it.
Okay.
And I took it for 2 years, 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Without stops.
Yeah. Did it change the symptoms and the intensity of
It helped me with the pains, and it helped me to stop my period, and that I didn't have to deal with that.
You didn't get your menstrual cycle?
No. The solution for women like me is to just take all glulot, like the pills, hormones. Me and myself took like madbeka sticker. Yes. That I put myself, and I switch it every week because I didn't like the pills. It was too much for me. And you're not allowed to even like, if one day you forgot, it's a problem. It's a big problem. Then the sticker was more comfortable for me. But okay, maybe it helped me with the pain, but it's really like make me feel sensitivity. I was not myself. I couldn't recognize myself in a lot of ways. It was very hard to deal with that.
Okay, so for 2 years, I'm gonna answer Leonore's question in a minute, but I just want. So can you see her questions? Maybe you should.
Today I without pills and not stickers at all. I'm already like 4 or 5, almost 5 months without nothing. It was a process for me to trust myself and go against the opinions of so many doctors. And I listened to myself.
So what happened? So for 2 years you're on this and you're thinking, this is my life. You're managing somehow. Okay, that's 2 years later. And then what exposed you? What woke you up to think that maybe you can help heal yourself, or that maybe there's some kind of
I couldn't really agree to hear that I need to deal with that all my life. the solution was something that I couldn't understand or accept. I couldn't accept the fact that I have something that nobody in the world know how to deal with it, and I need to live with it all my life. If my body bring it to me, it's mean that I can cure myself.
That's it. If your body got sick, your body can get well. And
Exactly.
doctors know this. They know this. So it's not that it's not their fault in a way, because they know that some women get it and some women don't. And that is something for them to say. It's this particular woman that has something in her body that can, so we have to look at the big picture. And when
Exactly.
people who have this inflammatory condition understand why they got it, where it came from, they can understand the how to get rid of it. So just, I love that you
You
said
ask
that.
a lot of questions yourself. It's not that I'm saying to women that have this disease, okay, stop everything. No, you need to take care of yourself. Before I decided I want to stop with all the medicines and all the painkillers and all this stuff, I did this point start my journey, and I decide I have like a contract with myself that I'm not going to stop till it's gonna be out of my life.
Wow.
And then I gonna start with a lot of therapies. I try so many stuff. I did like reflexologia. I did a lot of
Those things
stuff.
help? Did those things help a little bit? No,
A
first
little
I want to know,
bit.
before Lifnay, you answer, what, besides the fact that there was no negotiation, you were going to heal this. You were not going
Exactly.
to live with it. That was also this, I'm taking responsibility.
It took time to get to this point. Then don't blame yourself if you're not in this point. In the first steps, you need to accept that you have it, and I have even a lot of grief. Seriously, I felt like I'm sad. I had like a moment, like a few months, that I need to grieve on that I have it, and
Right,
to accept that.
right,
And then it's got a point that I said, okay, enough is enough. You're taking care of yourself. I don't care what the doctor said. I care about what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do the research and search myself and study myself. And if it's mental process, huge mental process, that I work on myself. And also, I have one person that I really want to mention her name. Her name is Dr. Yael Israelov. She's a really good friend of Tovah and mine, and she's a big colleague. And also for me, she's already family for me. And she was a big rock and a big part of my
and
journey.
Yael healed herself from breast
Big rock.
cancer and fibromyalgia, and she does some really amazing work helping people with disease and pain. It's energy work, and it's other kinds of work, which we'll talk about in a minute.
Mhm.
And I like to say that there's not like one type of energy work that's going to heal endometriosis. There's 1,000 ways of energy work that will heal 1,000 conditions.
Exactly.
There's one brain that causes chronic pain, and one sympath. So it's about what you're going to have a relationship with. Like, you connected with Yael, you also were ready. It's about timing, and it's
Exactly.
about trust. So that's why everybody needs to find their person.
It gave me a lot of hope. She really like took my hope that I find in myself, and she just like was there to make my hope to much bigger hope. And like I put myself in her hands to the minute that I decided I'm going to study everything that
Right,
she's doing.
right,
Like I'm studying almost everything that Yael bring it
right,
up. I'm like,
right.
she's
No,
a
well,
really
look, it's something deeper than that, but it's also, they say when the student is ready, the teacher will come. So you
exactly,
were ready, and you attracted Yael in her life. And there are
exactly.
many Yaels. There are many people that are helping people get better, because she was a shaliach. She was a messenger for you.
She
You
was a
allowed her
big
to be
messenger, my
right,
angel,
right,
seriously.
right. And it's not to say that reflexology can't help and all the other things that you can't help.
It's combination of so many stuff, and also a lot. You need to believe yourself. You need to believe in yourself.
That's
If you
it.
don't have the faith, if you don't believe that you can go out from
Yes.
that and you're stuck inside
And you
your
won't attract that
mind,
person. You won't attract that person.
exactly. It has to be body and soul and mind, and it's a like
Right.
work of so many stuff. And also, like we start to talk about it, but it's so important to talk about the bio
So go
and the
ahead. So wait a minute. So
wondering.
you met Jael, and you understood her work was going to be helping you with some past trauma and also some energy work to unblock some of that trauma. And she also did some things to help the brain, the sympathetic, the parasympathetic, different things that we don't have to go into the detail. But let's just talk a little bit about. So you went to this particular healer, you felt connected to what she was doing. And so tell us a little bit about how you were able to let that in and your healing began to happen and how you saw a shift in not only your
I
intensity of
just opened my mind. I just knew that everything that come to my life, it's with a reason, and I not just get her
you
number.
accepted,
That's
you
fine.
stopped acting like a victim. You accepted that you had this condition and that you were not a victim and that you
I
could
took
heal.
responsibility on my condition. I took responsibility of what I feel and what I want to feel. Endometriosis, it's very important to explain to everything that's gonna hear us, but it's an autoimmune disease. It means that the body attacked himself. It's something in your mind. It's not a disease that you have medicines or something to make her disappear. It's emotion disease, something that coming that of something trauma that you had or something that happened in your life that your body feel like you need to attack themselves. And I really remember that when I was younger, I hate my period.
Wow.
It's not just a reason. When I research, I find so many reasons, but I hate it. From
Wow.
the minute that I get my period, I say, what I need this? Why? I can't go to the beach. I need to. Why I
Uh-huh.
need this stuff?
Uh-huh. Wow. So it's almost like a curse or a conflict
I felt like a
with
curse.
your very being. I mean, you're
I
very
didn't feel blessed that I feel a curse. I said, okay, what the hell I needed in my life? It's
wow.
painful. I can't move, and I also was a girl that having a lot of boyfriends. I was a little bit tomboy. Then they don't have it, and I have few days that I can't be I can't be like normal.
Wow. Like you felt rejected or that you couldn't be yourself and this thing was stopping you from
I felt like it's limited me in these days. Like I couldn't really do what I want, and I'm very independent, and I was all the time doing something all my life. When I remember me from project to project and stuff from stuff, and I know that once in a month I have 4 days that I can't do nothing. And for somebody that needs to move and doing so many stuff to put off the shelter for 4 days, it's a big deal.
wow.
And
So
it's not just
anyway, this is
from the
unbelievable. This is really, I've not, I've talked to a lot of people about autoimmune, but this is interesting. Again, you're the first one in 3 years of this show, and even on the Israeli show, that we've spoken to somebody with particular endometriosis, which again, all autoimmune, all inflammatory conditions, but endometriosis is something specific because of where it's happening and to who it's happening to. So I'm just fascinated to hear about this. And there was a fact I want to say on the record to our listeners: 1 out of every 3 women will experience symptoms of endometriosis.
it's
Wow,
true.
I didn't know that.
And most of them don't know that they have it. You know, when they find that they have it, when they're trying to get pregnant and they can, and they're doing research, and you're doing so many like exam and surgeries, and then you recognize it after so many years that you live with that and you suffered and you don't even know what you have.
Wow. So anyway, so you meet Dr. Yetlis for love and you connect to her energy work, which is she's helping you unblock traumas and
Right.
she's helping you understand, the past and
But
the
what
present.
is it? What is it? We go to the past. we go, it's like therapy that it's really stopping about age that stuff happened to you with the subject that you put in the therapy, that you said, okay, I want to work on that. Then she stopped in so many age and she asked you, you have a conversation. She asked you what happened in this age and why you felt like this in this age. And it's a lot of energy work. Then it's a bit hard to explain that, but it's really, it's so special. And it's such an amazing therapy.
So when she helped you understand that there might have been something that happened at age, when you got your period, she helps you understand that at that age something needs to be healed.
Right. We stop in many ages.
Right. And would you say that your healing came from accepting something, like Dr. Gabriel Matai says, it's not about the trauma, it's about your experience of the trauma. So you had to understand
how your body reflects from the trauma. And a lot of stuff when you're not putting stuff out or talking about stuff or like really taking out
everything. If you're repressing something.
Exactly. That something happened there. When you're not talking about stuff, you're not in therapy, you're not connect to yourself, right. Your body is speaking.
Well, you just said you hated your period, and a lot of us don't like our period, but you hated it in a way that your brain somehow perceived.
A lot of my research, I realized that a lot of women, something happened to them in front of other women, like important women in their life, like grandma or mom or teacher. It's also a relationship in front of women.
Wow.
It's so many stuff when you research it from the, I don't know, I did the cool scene.
Acupuncture.
Exactly, and reflexology and with Yael and with all the research that I did and so many stuff that I read and so many doctors that I went to hear what they said, that it can come with so many reasons that we just we not talk about it. We never take it out from ourselves.
So at what point when you started working with Yael and did some energy work to unblock some traumas and accept and take responsibility and understand the brain and the body, the connection, the intimate connection between the mind and the body. At what point did you begin to see a change in the intensity of your symptoms, or just that you were able to, tell us how it went with you? Because you started getting your period again. Come every month.
In the beginning, when I went to her, we talked about a lot of stuff, and then it came out. After that, I started to study with her, and I did so many therapies on myself. But I can say that in 1, 2, 3 treatment with Yael, I felt like I'm clean. When I knew that I can sign on that, and like I have the courage to go and stop with all the therapy, like I have once in a year, I'm going to a special doctor for endometriosis, and I do an exam. And I have something that I'm like follow up on that, like on that we saw in the ultrasound already 3 years. And in the last time when I came, it was disappeared.
So you saw plaquing, like we call it plaquing or inflammatory spots, and they weren't there. They were gone.
They weren't there anymore. And then I said, okay, Aline, you're doing something right. Maybe you can take a step forward. Like try to stop. And I asked him, okay, it's not there. I want to stop.
Now, what I want to say to the listeners that's not the most important thing. That the physical picture doesn't always have to indicate. I meet people with MS with plaques on their brain and they're living a fine life. This was just something that did change for you. Doesn't have to change, but it did change for you. But I don't think you would have lost any hope if it didn't. That's my sense about you.
No, I'm a fighter.
Okay, but you weren't fighting yourself anymore, because
no, I fight on my I fight from the fact that I don't want to have it in my life anymore.
So I call it a peaceful fight. I call it like you weren't negotiating with
Exactly.
your unconscious mind. You weren't negotiating with your negative thoughts, with your fears. You accepted them. You understood your anger.
Accept myself with the disease, without the disease, with
Right.
the symptoms, without the symptoms. I first of all accept myself.
Right. So, okay, so then you saw that the ultrasound had changed and you felt hope. What about your symptoms? Did they go down? Did they go up? If you still had pain during a period?
Now without any treatment, and I can say that I'm already 4 months getting my period on time. That it's also something that I couldn't understand in the beginning because I was like stopping my getting my periods for 3 years.
Wow.
Then it's back, and I don't have pain. I don't feel like nothing. I'm not gonna say that I'm not about a bit weak, but it's not put me in bed for 4 days. I'm not feeling pain that I need to go to the hospital to take care of this pain because the pain is something that I can't even explain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So tell me, Aline, what about the people that need to hear from you? Let's talk a little bit about the sensations because it's rather than pain. I mean, pain is processed in the same place in the brain as anger and fear and sadness. So there's a reaction in the brain when you have your period, when people have their monthly cycle. There's somehow a conditioned response. You're expecting every month, hey, you're looking for, there's this conditioned response. There's this like body's setting up to protect you. So the fact that you have less inflammation and less pain means, tell me about your relationship with the pain. Like how can you advise some of the listeners?
Right now, I'm really happy, like to get that thing. I'm talking for my body. I know it's part of me. It's part of my circle. It's part of me being a woman. It's part of
So it
me.
doesn't scare you, the pain, when it comes.
No, I really wait for that in the beginning. I said, okay, no, it can't be that everything disappeared. I was ready to get to another process with myself, but it really wasn't there.
Mhm. And
Not there
what
anymore.
do you say to people who have a lot of discomfort where the pain comes? I mean, the pain can come even not around the period. The pain can come.
You need to live with in peace with this pain. I didn't like it was an option to live with this pain for all my life. It's really surrealistic that really women like get this pain, and I said, okay, I'm give up. I'm living that all my life without even trying because even I can't say without even trying because we go to the doctors, we talk about it. It's part of us doing surgery, and it's not really help because you can do surgery and it's coming back. They're doing surgery every 3 to 6 months. It's insane. But this is how they live. If you're gonna read about this disease, it's a bit different from fibro because fibro it's a painful in your body, but endometriosis you really have blood that's going all your body.
Mhm. So if
It's
people,
really the body attacking themselves.
yeah, if people have pain not around their period, then it's a different kind of pain. Number one. Two,
Yeah.
when you have your period, it's not, what's happening is there's the kidneys are swelling. There's this, the kidneys are swelling, the ovaries are,
Sorry, I'm checking my charger
yeah,
because
go
I'm
ahead.
afraid the
And by
computer.
go ahead.
Sorry.
What I want to understand, and maybe some people from the audience can share something, is that why do certain women have period cramps and certain women don't? Again, I don't want to underestimate anybody's discomfort during their menses, but there isn't supposed to be a pain response when the blood comes and when the kidneys swell. It doesn't have to be. that way.
No, you don't have to live with that on peace. It's like, I think that the reason why I'm here and why you're here, it's to give so many people, especially women, hope. It's not even just a woman, because my best friend, his girlfriend, have that, and he suffered with her every month for 4 days, and sometimes he taking her to the hospital in the minute of the night, and she crying all night, and it's, it's
It
it
affects
affects all
everybody.
humanity.
Yeah, yeah. So it's so interesting that I want to talk a little bit more and give people some advice about how you accepted the pain, how you understood the pain and it changed because you understood that it wasn't something attacking you, it wasn't something against you, there was no threat. And so your reaction to the pain changed. It became, you responded. And I think
I
that's one
think
of the best pieces.
it's a wake up call to take care of yourself. Woman that it's coming to her life, ask yourself why it's coming, why I need this pain. I really start to ask myself so many big questions. Why I need this pain? Why from all women I have it? Like, all, not all the women in the world have it. If somebody don't have it, it means that I can do it too.
So expand on that a bit. So basically, you understood this pain, even though it hurt and it was uncomfortable, that it was not dangerous.
I don't know if I felt like it's not dangerous, or I understood the pain. But in such a point, I take care of myself. I start the therapy. I listen to the doctor in the beginning, and it's really helped with the pain. But it's a plaster. It didn't really cure me.
It was
It's just
just taking
to
care of
be
the
with the mask.
symptoms. It was just taking care of the symptoms.
Exactly. And it wasn't enough for me. And also, it's bring different symptoms to your life. It's not like you don't have symptoms at all. When you're taking that, you have a lot of symptoms, different symptoms that you need to live with them.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it's a journey. It's really a journey to ask why it's coming to your life, and what process I need to do with my brain, with my mental, with my everything, with my body.
What other things did you do? Did you continue exercising? Did you meditate? Did you?
I did a lot of meditate. I couldn't really exercise. I was like, it's really, I felt like this disease took all my energy. I used to do a yoga, but I have weeks that I couldn't do. Like in the week that I'm in my periods, and week after, like this week, then when I'm in my periods, I was in pain. And week after, I need to like trying to get back to normal, and like take all the time that it took for me and to deal with different stuff.
Yeah. I wanted to mention, and I think part of the energy work that you did, um, would you agree that visualizing each month comes that no matter what happens, you can handle it, that you can create what you want for yourself by this state of mind, and the unconscious mind starts to believe that's true. Like you start to imagine, and that's where the hope and the belief and come in. But you start to really like, I know sometimes Lenore goes to an exercise class, and she's scared because she's scared it's going to be painful, and she's in pain from the exercise. Now, that's something in the muscles that's triggering. So part of it is to, visualize, not to stop going to the exercise class, but to keep visualizing that I can do this, that it's okay, and to gradually do a little bit by a little bit, because the body is, the pain is protection. You see, from my work, the pain is inflammation, and the pain is somehow protecting you from something. So the question is, you're saying, hey, pain, I don't need you to protect me. I know you're helping me. I know
In
you're
the minute that
listening.
you talk with your mind, and you explain, and you're doing a lot of work with yourself, and with Shem Kitsua, with people that can support you. Sometimes many knows, like, we helping so many people, but yachad im zot, we going to a therapy too. We need it too. Everybody needs it. And in the minute that you connect to your body and your mind, and you don't need the pain anymore.
Yeah. So that's interesting. So that's say that again. So you don't need the pain anymore when what?
I don't need the pain anymore in the minute that I connect to myself. I'm taking care to myself. I'm not putting stuff around the לטאטא מתחת לשטיח. You're talking about stuff. You're taking out your voice, your pain. You're trying to work on all your traumas or understand why it's coming to your life.
Well, I think what you're saying is you have a different relationship with the pain. There's a you have a healthy relationship, and when I say that, you have a dialogue now. You have a communication. Okay, pain. I know you're uncomfortable, but you're coming from my brain. I know you're sitting in my, in my kidneys and my uterus. You're coming in my belly. But number one, I'm gonna, put this hot water bottle on, and I'm gonna calm the muscle. I'm gonna go ahead and breathe, which is gonna bring me natural chemicals of healing, which is
For me, it's like your body talking to you, God talking to you. They're trying to say something. They're really trying to say something. For every pain, for everything that happened in your life, it's trying to say to us something.
Yeah. I just hear people saying, "What do you mean, doc? What do you mean my body wants to say something? Come on, this is BS. I mean, come on, like I have endometriosis." And so, sometimes we're breaking down barriers because they're so convinced because pain does mean something is wrong. But this kind of pain and neuroplastic pain, chronic pain is not, it's counterintuitive. It's not something's wrong. It's coming from the brain. And endometriosis pain is inflammation that's being created by some deeper reason and some imbalance in the immune system and the nervous system. And that's what you healed. So let's just go back and talk about it again. You healed it with this energy work that helped you accept your trauma. What else did you do? You meditated, you accepted responsibility, you did not negotiate with the pain. The pain came and you were like, okay.
I stopped to blame them. I stopped to hate myself for the pain. I stopped to hate my period. I stopped to hate these days. I just released the control of like focus on this pain. Like I need to stop focus on the pain and focus on myself and why it's coming to my life. And this is exactly the breaking point when you start to change and you have something to do to help yourself.
Yeah. And this is the interesting bittersweet about the Facebook pages with everybody talking about their pain. Here's the maftiach, here's the key. We can talk about our pain, we can talk about our trauma, we can talk about our problems, we can complain, and we can have an opinion, and we can be judgmental, but we don't have to be in pain, because if we understand how we relate to our judgment, our opinion, our anger, and we have an overall healthy relationship. I'm not explaining this the way that I want because I lost my train of thought. What I'm saying is that people can be on the internet and complain about pain and still get better, because you're saying express yourself. But the people that aren't getting better, they're expressing themselves. But what are they doing? They're blaming themselves.
But it's a huge difference between victim about what you happen in your life to take the victim hats, and between to taking responsibility on the situation and understand what you can do to change it. And you can be the victim, and like also this is not helpful too, because your brain hear everything. And when you're complaining, this is the conversation that we hear. It's 95% of tat muda and 5% of muda.
So 95% of subconscious and 5% of conscious mind.
Exactly. And this part of your brain hear everything, and sometimes they don't do the translate.
To translate.
And when you're victim in your life and complaining about stuff that happened to you and what you feel, it's not really helpful. Yes, you express yourself, but you express yourself from the point that you have nothing to do with that.
and this is part of the trauma that we grow up and we lose our authenticity, we lose ourselves in order to get love, and so we don't even know how to love ourselves. And that's why the self-compassion and awareness is enormous healing power. And it sounds like you were able to develop that through your healing. And
oh, it's true. And so many parents, even it's not even when we when in the childhood, that when you cry and your teacher or your father say to you, "Why are you crying? Don't cry." Like they teach us from so young age not to express our pain and not to take it off.
yeah, knock it off, or don't be a crybaby,
Exactly.
or
Guys, don't cry.
no,
You don't need
it's
to cry. You're
true.
bigger.
No, it's true. It's true. It's true. These are these small traumas that develop, and yet as an adult, we understand that, and we may not even, we may not talk that way to our children, but it becomes a pattern. And so, with this energy work, I know for myself, you're able to break some of those patterns, like
So
you're
many
able
words.
to, yeah, and but move. You not only unblock the trauma, but you allowed movement. And so that's why I think for a lot of us that are stuck, we have to find movement. We have to find, and the hope is the movement, the compassion is the movement. Um, can you talk a little bit about some of the people you're working with in your coaching work and how you're helping them? And maybe like maybe a testimony of some of the work that you're doing now that you're helping others
I
heal?
think it's a lot of a conversation of how you feel. It's a lot of asama and also the energy work. If I'm not doing that with them, I'm doing a lot of time treatment from far, and they're getting exactly all the points where it's sit, and then we're doing really a talking about it. It's a combination of mind, body, and healing
Yeah.
that comes to the table, and we have so many. I have so many ways to come and
Mm-hmm.
take
Mm-hmm.
the people like to a journey that I did.
Mm-hmm. So
Take them to
what
the
would
future.
what's three things that you would share for people to do, whether their pain level is a 10 or a 5 or a 1?
5, it's
If you
let different people to help you. Like give open the door to different people. It doesn't matter what you are, a doctor, a therapist in yourself. We also need to open the door to other people to see
trust,
what's
you have to
going on,
trust.
to look on the in a clean eye with no emotions, with no. It's so important. Really, let different people to help you.
Yeah.
And second, it's to believe that you can get through it, to accept that. It's actually too to accept the fact that you have it, and then to get to the point that you really believe that you can change it in your life, not to take it to something that you need to live with that all your life.
Mm-hmm. Wow, it's powerful. And it's a process. It doesn't happen overnight,
No, it's not.
but
It's not
it becomes a I always look at it like it becomes a pathway. You'll always have that pathway of fear and the negativity and the doubt, and that's okay. That's who we are sometimes. That's how we survived trauma, and we did it with strength and courage. So you take another pathway and you start to build another pathway of acceptance and taking responsibility and not blaming and hope and
stopping to judge yourself. Stop at yourself. Stop judge yourself. Clean those feelings.
wow,
Start from a clean page. Ask questions.
yeah,
Find the person that you feel like comfortable with to
safe
help you.
that you
And
feel
it's
safe.
okay. It's not a weak. It's not a weakness. It's a strength.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
like really, I see it about something that it's brave to open your heart and start to research the people that can help you.
Mhm. And to see that, like, I think it's important. This is an important piece. You besides accepting yourself, you had to accept this diagnosis, you had to accept this label, you had to accept that you were not chosen, but you were given this test in life, and it was a wake-up call for you, and you saw it as an opportunity. You didn't see it as an obstacle, you saw it as an opportunity. Just like, people.
It's a wake-up call to take care of yourself, not keep going with all these baggage that you have on the bag.
Yeah. There are so many, and if doctors could just say, okay, listen, take this anti-inflammatory, it's really going to help. I want you to not be in pain, but you need to go, do some coaching, or need to go look at yourself, or you need to understand why this is so painful for you. I mean, painful periods are normal. We have some tightness in our kidneys. We have some tightness in the muscles. Our hormones change. We get a little bit, the body's getting ready for pregnancy. I mean, on some level, yeah, your body's going to be different. But this is where these shows and people like you we can help people partner with their doctor, understand that their femininity is
a combination. It's really a combination between it's a big combination between work, emotion work, energy work, and everything. It's work for you and makes you feel comfortable with your body and with the medicine that you have today. It's helping for you to stop feeling the pain and helping you to start this process. But in such point, you want to clean it.
Yeah. Wow, it's beautiful. What Lenore asked, it's
פלמטורי. אני אמרתי פלמטורי. I say that.
מה זה פלמטור? Can you say?
No, I read the word, but
what is it?
I need the connection. I don't remember that I say it.
Lenore, can you say it in the sentence in English, and then I can help you? If you can write it in English, honey.
אני היום בלי דיכוי בכלל. I see that she asking another question. אני בלי דיכוי בכלל. אני בלי שום תרופה.
Inflammatory. You say inflammatory, inflammation, דלקת.
כן.
So מה זה? What is
inflammatory? זה דלקת, זה פשוט ריחים של הדם, של הרחם שמתפשטת לך בגוף. אין לי מושג איך להגיד את זה באנגלית, אבל בעברית דווקא אני ממש קוראת הרבה ויודעת בדיוק על מה זה יושב.
No, and the research is that I didn't even learn this in school. I learned it only in my pain management work, that when we have anxious thoughts, or we worry, or we are concerned, or even when we're judgmental and critical, the brain perceives that as a threat, and it begins to create an inflammatory response, and it'll show up when we're vulnerable, when we're having our period. It'll show up around, stressful times. It'll show up, it'll appear. And again, the body's protecting us. So if we can understand that our body's not against us, that itself,
your body is so smart.
Is a message. That's beautiful.
Our body is really smart, and we don't understand. And לצערי, הרפואה הקונבנציונלית המערבית, she's on the way to there. Now that I feel it, it changed a little bit, but our body and our soul, it's connected.
Yeah, completely. The body, mind, and the soul, they're one. And they need to work together. They support each other.
And if you're taking care of your body, you need to take care of your soul and your brain, and it's everything together.
Yeah. So listen, I so appreciate you coming, and I know there's some people in the Facebook that may not want to ask questions, but if anybody wants to connect to you, they can through my Facebook page. I'm happy to send them your Facebook page, your email. If anyone has any questions after the show, this will be on our YouTube, TMS Roundtable Global. There's there's a show from a few weeks ago in Hebrew on TMS Roundtable Israel. Aline is also a coach and helping people virtually and also locally in Israel. And I think we're witnessing huge changes in the world. You know, as crazy as the world is around us in the globe, I think, you know, we heal ourselves, we heal the world. You know, it's like, and one
The
person,
change that with us.
yeah,
Be the change that you want to be, that
yeah.
the world want to be.
You know, the Chabad rabbi says one mitzvah at a time. I say one symptom at a time, one neshama, one soul at a time. And I'm really, really happy to meet you. I'm happy that
Thank you so
you
much
spoke
for
beautifully. You
everything.
spoke beautifully English, like mamash. It's
No,
a beautiful accent. And I just hope you're not in any pain speaking English, because it really was important for our listeners. And
no, it was a pleasure, my pleasure, and thank
great,
you so
great.
much
Okay,
for hosting me and also for everything that you're
great,
doing to
great.
so many people.
Wonderful.
Seriously, thank you
We'll meet again till we meet again.
for
Erev
sure.
Tov, Lahitra Ot.
Bye bye.
Okay.